welcome back to my class. This is Mehjabin Fatima, a teacher at Elizabeth High School and Junior College. In our previous classes, we have completed till 6th chapter in social studies. Now in this class, we are going to study about 7th chapter, that is agriculture in our time. Now let's proceed with our lesson. It is groundnut harvest season in Venkatapuram. Farmers sow groundnut seeds in the last week of November and harvest them in February. So it is the month in which they are sowing the groundnut seed. And here we are going to talk about a village that is in Venkatapuram. So farmers, they are sowing groundnut seed in the last week of November, and they harvest the groundnuts in the month of February. On our way to the main village, we found Rama, Lakshmana and Padma, 3 women's laborers. So on their way, they saw 3 women that were laborers, and their names were Rama, Lakshmana and Padma. So these 3 were the laborers, and they were having their breakfast in a groundnut fields. We talked to them about their work. So while they were having their breakfast, they went to them and they talked to them about their work. Venkatapuram, agricultural laborers in groundnut fields. Squatting on the floor in fields for long hours, bearing the scorching sun and plucking groundnuts is not that easy job. So squatting means sitting by bending. So here these 3 laborers, they were sitting by bending on the floor in fields for a long hours, bearing the scorching sun. That means it was very hot. And plucking groundnuts, it is not an easy job. Ravi, our employer, pays us on the basis of the quantity of groundnut we pluck. We have to be fast, otherwise we will not get even 100 to 150 rupees for the whole day's work, Lakshmamma said. So one of the lady, her name is Lakshmamma, she is saying to them that by squatting on the floor for long hours in the scorching sun, means in very hot weather, they will pluck these groundnuts, and it is not that much easy job. And on the basis of their plucking, Ravi, their employer, will pay them the price, that is 100 to 150 rupees per day, and they have to pluck the groundnuts fast so that they will reach up to that rate according to the quantity of groundnuts they have plucked. All of you must be very busy these days, we asked. Yes, but we get such work only for a few weeks in a year. Sometimes we get work in government schemes. We don't get enough work, so often we sit idle in our houses, Padma said. So they are asking, all of you must be very busy these days. So as this season is of groundnut season, so all of you must be very busy, we asked. But in reply to this, Padma said that yes, but we get such work only for a few weeks in a year. That is only whenever the groundnut season will be there, at that time only they will get work, she is saying. And sometimes they will work in government schemes as well. So that means they are the daily wages laborers, and we don't get enough work. So often we sit idle in our houses. So when they won't get any kind of work, they will sit idle at their homes. Even in government schemes, we get employment only for a few weeks in an entire year, Rama said. So another lady, she said that even in the government schemes, we get employment only for a few weeks. That means that government scheme will be there only for few weeks, and at that time only they will get work. Lakshmamma said, we don't know why the prices of essential food items, vegetables, clothes and stationery for our school going children rise fast, but not our wages. So Lakshmamma, she again said that I don't know, means we don't know why the prices of essential items, what are our daily needs, why these needs are rising fast, but not our wages. Why our wages are not rising, why these stationery items or daily usable things are rising, means the prices are becoming high for them and they are unable to afford those things sometimes. Normally, women workers earn about rupees 100 to 130 per day, whereas men workers get rupees 200 to 250 per day. So per day, the earnings of the women will be 100 to 130 per day. But whereas when you will see to the men, they will earn 200 to 250 per day. In the government employment scheme, men as well as women get about rupees 150 per day. In non-agricultural activities such as loading and unloading of sand or bricks and construction works, they get a little more, rupees 300 for men and rupees 180 to 200 for women, but such work is scarce. So in government employment schemes they are getting only 150 per day, both men and women, but in non-agricultural activities such as loading and unloading of sand or bricks, means these are the non-agricultural activities. Here they are loading and unloading the sands and brick, and the construction works, they get little more, like rupees 300 for men and rupees 180 to 200 for women. In these non-agricultural works they are getting some more money, and such work is very much scarce, means this work is very rare. Where do we get non-agricultural employment here? It is also not easy to suddenly become a construction worker. We have to go to towns and cities for that, Padma said. So how can we get non-agricultural work here, as they are living in a village? So it is not easy for them to suddenly become a construction worker. They have to go to towns and cities for that. So here the Padma, she is replying to this that they will not get non-agricultural work very easily. Some farmers in our neighboring villages cultivate flowers and grapes. Only those who go regularly and who have learned the work get employment here. How can we suddenly learn to do such tasks, that too for a few days of work in a year? They also don't allow young children there. How can I leave my children behind? Lakshmamma added. Some farmers, what they were doing in neighboring villages, they cultivate flowers and grapes. But those who go regularly and who have learned to work get employment there. So those who are having the knowledge how to work, they will only get the employment there in the neighboring villages, where these farmers, they are cultivating the flowers, grapes, etc. And how can we suddenly learn to do such tasks, that too for a few days of work in a year? Means according to the work only they are getting payment. So here how can they suddenly learn to work? The person is doing the same work for whole year, then only the person will learn to do that. But instead every month, if the work is changing, it will take the time for the person to learn so here also same is happening with them. And she is also replying that they also don't allow young children there. So as they are also having their children, where should they leave their children? They cannot leave their small children at home. So they have to take their children to their work. But here in the neighboring villages, the farmers, they are keeping the employment, they are giving the employment opportunities. But how can they leave their children there? And that too, that work will be there only for few weeks in a year. We like to work for the government scheme as they do not require any special skills, Rama said. So they would like to work for government schemes, as these schemes, they does not require any kind of special skills. Poor laborers like Rama, Lakshmamma and Padma face a lot of challenges in earning income to run their families. The women also spend a lot of time on their household work, such as getting their children ready for school, preparing food and getting water and firewood. So these poor laborers like Rama, Lakshmamma and Padma, they are facing a lot of difficulties in their daily livelihood, as they has to earn income and they run families as well. And these women, they spend a lot of time on their household work as well, such as getting their children ready for school, preparing food for them and getting water. Means the water taps, they will not be available in the villages, so they has to go and get the water and firewood. Nearly 2/5 of all rural families are mainly agricultural laborers in Telangana. Of these, hardly few have small plots of land and the rest are landless. So nearly 2/5 of all the rural families, they are connected to the agricultural fields and they are the laborers in Telangana. And of these, hardly a few of them, they are having the plots of land and mostly of them are landless. Although earnings are higher in non-agricultural jobs, they are scarce in rural areas. That is why many families in Venkatapuram have migrated to towns and cities. So many families from the Venkatapuram, as they were not having that much employment opportunities, so they have migrated to towns and cities, because in towns and cities they will be getting many opportunities and they are the daily wage laborers. So for that, for their earning, they have moved to towns and cities from Venkatapuram village. Let's say small farmers in Venkatapuram. On seeing us talking to the workers, Ravi, their employer, came over to talk to us. Ravi employs only 1 or 2 men workers and several women workers for harvesting groundnut. So on seeing these 3 ladies talking, this Ravi, he is their employer. He came over to talk to us, and Ravi employs only 1 or 2 men workers and several women workers for harvesting the groundnut fields. Men workers are generally engaged to uprooting groundnut plant, gathering bundles and carrying the bundles to a place. So what is the work of men over here? They will engage to uprooting groundnut plant and they will gather the bundles and carry the bundles to the place. Women are engaged in plucking groundnut pods from the plants. So here the work of women is only plucking the groundnut pod. I employ laborers only for harvesting. I generally get other works done with my family members or take the help of other neighboring farmers, Ravi said. So what Ravi is saying here, he will employ the laborers only for harvesting, and generally he will take help from other farmers from the neighboring villages, and he will take help from his family for other kinds of works. Ravi's daughter was also plucking groundnuts. Ravi did not send her to college in the nearby town as he was not able to pay the fee and other expenses. So she works in the fields now. So Ravi is also having a daughter and she is also working in the agricultural fields where she is plucking out the groundnut pods, and Ravi is not sending her to the college in the nearby towns as he cannot afford that much fee and other expenses. So she is also working in the fields now. Ravi has 4 acres of land with a bore well. Earlier he used to get water from the village tank. Nowadays water does not reach his fields. About 5 years back he borrowed rupees 75,000 and dug a bore well. So Ravi is having 4 acres of land with a bore well, and earlier he used to get water from the village tank, but nowadays that water will not reach to the fields, and 5 years back he has borrowed rupees 75,000 and he dug the bore well. For the first 2 to 3 years he cultivated 2 crops a year. Since last year water from the bore well is not sufficient to cultivate 1 crop in a year. So after digging up the bore well he used that water for 2 to 3 years, and at that time he cultivated 2 crops in a year. But since last year the water from the bore well is also not sufficient for him and he cannot cultivate even 1 crop in a year also. I borrowed money from a broker in our village to buy seeds and fertilizers. To pay him back, I have to sell these groundnuts to him at a lower price than the market price. He has already telephoned me for the produce. So Ravi is again adding to his words that he has borrowed money from the broker, and after borrowing the money he has bought the seeds and fertilizers, and he used those seeds and fertilizers in agricultural fields, and to pay him back means from whomever he took the money he has to pay that money back, right? So he has to sell the groundnuts to that person at a lower price than the market price. So at the lower price, this Ravi, he is selling his groundnuts to the person from whom he has taken the money, and he has already telephoned me for the produce. That means the person from whom the Ravi has borrowed the money, he already telephoned him and asked for the produce. Why don't you take loans from banks? We asked. So they are asking him, why don't you take loans from the bank? Bank reluctant to lend to us, especially when we need it desperately. Most of the time we depend on brokers or money lenders. So banks are reluctant, as banks also need surety. So these persons, they are not having surety. So how can the bank will give them the loan? So here banks are reluctant to lend the money to them, and especially when we need it desperately, Ravi is saying. So whenever they are in need of money, banks are reluctant to give money to them, and most of the time they depend on brokers or money lenders for borrowing the money. Farmers like Ravi need to borrow money to buy inputs like seeds, fertilizers and pesticides. If the quality of seeds is not good, or if they apply fertilizer improperly, or if pests attack their crop, their yield will be low. So farmers like Ravi, they need to borrow money to buy inputs such as seeds, fertilizers and pesticides. And if the quality of seed is not good, or if they apply fertilizer improperly, or if the pest attack their crop, the yields will be low. Whatever the yields will give back the crops, that will be very low. Since they borrow mostly from money lenders and brokers and have to sell at a lower prefixed prices, their harvest does not get good returns, and for the family to survive they have to borrow more money. So as they are doing much hard work, but they are not getting the earnings according to their hard work, as they are paying that money to the money lenders or brokers, right? So here their work is more, but the earnings are very less. So they are borrowing mostly from the money lenders and brokers and have to sell them at a fixed lower prices. So the price will be prefixed. Before giving the money only, the money lenders, they will fix the prices, and their harvest does not get good returns. And for the family to survive, they have to borrow more money, and these earnings, they are not sufficient for these farmers or laborers. So they has to borrow money for their livelihood as well. Soon the loan becomes so large that they are unable to repay it. Moreover, to add their misery, sometimes there is a crop failure due to one or the other reason. So the loan has become so large that they are unable to repay it, and moreover by adding to their misery, sometimes there is a crop failure due to one or other reason. Consequently, there is acute distress in farmers. In recent years, the distress of small farmers has been on the increase, but they are unable to find a way out. So this has become their misery and they cannot do anything. So consequently, there is acute distress in farmers and they are unable to find a way out of it. Let's see what is contract farming. Some farmers have tried to get rid of this problem by entering into a contract with companies for production and supply of some special crops. Although not widespread in some parts of Telangana, some companies have made contracts with farmers to cultivate crops such as palm oil, paddy, amla, maize, groundnut, soybean, cotton, chili and cucumber. So to come out of this problem, the farmers, they have tried a new way, and in this way they are entering into a contract with companies for production and supply of some special crops. So it is not widespread, but in some part of Telangana this practice is done by farmers, and these companies, they made a contract with the farmers to cultivate crops such as palm oil, paddy, amla, maize, groundnut, soybean, cotton, chili and cucumber. In contract farming, companies advise farmers to follow specific farming practices and also provide financial support. So in this contract farming, the companies, they are also providing some financial support to the farmer, and these companies, they are also advising the farmers to follow the specific farming practices. They buy the harvest at predetermined prices and pay the farmers about after deducting the input cost. So they are buying the harvest at predetermined prices and they are paying farmers after deducting the input cost. The companies use the produce as a raw material for making their own products like chips or tomato sauce or medicine, or export them directly to other countries. The companies, how they are using these crops, they are using this produce as a raw material for making their own products like chips, tomato sauce and medicine, and otherwise they will export those raw materials directly to the other countries. Many farmers welcome this arrangement as they get advances for the crop inputs and are assured of the prices. However, they have to bear the risk of poor harvest. In case the harvest is not of the quality desired by the company, it may refuse to buy the crop, leaving the farmers in trouble. So now many farmers, they have adopted this contract farming policy and they welcome this arrangement as they are getting in advance for the crop inputs and they are assured of the prices. But sometimes they bear the risk of poor harvest. So in such cases, if they cannot harvest the quality desired by the company, they may the company may refuse to buy the crops and the company may leave the farmers in trouble. In order to get high yield under contract farming, farmers use chemical fertilizers extensively and exploit groundwater resources. So, to get again, to not to get in such kind of trouble, these farmers, they are using chemicals and fertilizers to a large part. They exploit the groundwater resources, and this may reduce the groundwater level further and deteriorate the soil fertility. So, this overusage of chemicals and fertilizers, this may reduce the groundwater level further and it may also deteriorate the soil quality as well. That means the quality of the soil will also be reduced. Often small farmers use the best land earmarked for their own food production for contract farming, thus harming the security of their own food. So, these farmers, they use the best lands for their own food production and for contract farming, and thus harming the security of their own food. That means as they are overusing the chemicals and fertilizers, that is harming their own food. Why? Because they are using that food production only for their survival. So, that may also affect their health as well. Let's see small farmers come laborers in Venkatapuram. We found a tiled house in front of which there was a tractor with loads of harvested groundnut plants. We talked to the farmer living the house. His name is Ramu. He is also a farmer like Ravi. So, now they have found a tiled house in front of which there was a tractor with loads of harvested groundnut plants, and they went to that farmer and they spoke to that farmer. His name was Ramu and he is also a small farmer like Ravi. If you wish to know about farming, you should go to a big farmer, he said. So, this Ramu, he said that if you want to know more about farming, you have to go to the big farmer. You have a tractor in front of your house and we thought of discussing about farming with you, we said. So, as they found out a tractor with a loaded groundnuts in that tractor, so as they have found a loaded groundnut tractor in front of his house, they went to them and they spoke to this man. And we thought of discussing about farming with you, and they said to him that we thought of discussing about farming with you. Oh, it is not mine. I work for Vijay Kumar, a big farmer in this village. He supplies water to my fields and I borrow money from him whenever I need. So, this man, he is replying that tractor is not mine. I work for a Vijay Kumar. Vijay Kumar is another big farmer in the village and he supplies water to my fields and I borrow money whenever I need. So, this Ramu is saying that he will supply water to my fields and sometimes whenever I need money, I will go to him and he will give me money. Ramu owns 2 acres of land which depends upon the village tank for irrigation. However, a few big farmers divert tank water to their fields and do not bother whether Ramu's land is irrigated or not. So, Ramu, he has 2 acres of land which is totally dependent upon the village tank for irrigation. And some big farmers, what they are doing, they are diverting that tank water to their fields and they are not even bothering about the Ramu's land. 4 years ago, by borrowing money from Vijay Kumar, no water was found. Even after digging up to 500 feet, Ramu had to stop dreaming of getting borewell water for his fields. So, 4 months ago, what Ramu did, he digged up a borewell, but for his misery, even after digging for 500 feet, he could not find water in borewell. So, Ramu has to stop dreaming about getting borewell water to his fields. He has to pay back the loan. As he took loan from someone, he has to pay back that loan. He cultivates his land only during the Kharif season with the help of his family members like Ravi. Like Ravi, he too employ a few workers only at a time of harvest. So, he is also taking the help of his family for harvesting his fields and he will cultivate his land only during the Kharif season. And like Ravi, he too employs few workers only at a time of harvest. So, at the time of harvesting the field only, these persons, they are taking the help from outsiders. Otherwise, these persons, they are dependent upon their family members for their daily work. Since the income from his fields is not sufficient to run his family for more than 3 months in a year, he works on Vijay Kumar's fields. Vijay Kumar provides water for Ramu's paddy fields. In return, he has to irrigate his employer's large paddy and sugarcane fields and do whatever task is assigned to him. Since Ramu can drive, he also works as a tractor driver for ploughing the fields and transporting paddy and other things to the market. As this Ramu is not getting irrigation facility properly to his field, he is working under Vijay Kumar's fields as well. And to run his family more than 3 months in a year, he will work for Vijay Kumar field, and Vijay Kumar he will provide water for Ramu's paddy fields, and in return to this, whatever the task will be assigned by the Vijay Kumar, this Ramu farmer has to do that task, and he also knows about driving the tractor. So he will also drive the tractor to the fields of himself and to the fields of Vijay Kumar, and he will plough the fields and transport the paddy and other things to the market. Let's see about small farmers of Telangana. 4 out of 5 farmers in Telangana like Ravi and Ramu, they own very little land and have poor irrigation facilities. They are in great need of loans and they have to approach banks or rich peasants, money lenders or brokers for this. So 4 to 5 farmers in Telangana like Ravi and Ramu, they own very little land and they have poor irrigation facility and they are in great need of loans and they have to approach to the banks or rich peasants. Peasants are also called as farmers. So they have to approach to the banks and these rich peasants to borrow some money. They are forced to sell their produce at lower prices to make ends meet. They have to work as laborers in other fields. So they are forced to sell their produce at lower prices which are fixed by the person from whom they have taken the loans. So they have to work as laborers in other fields as well. Conversation with a big farmer. Ramu took us to his employer Vijay Kumar. Vijay Kumar's house had a big compound wall inside which we found a paddy harvester, a thresher and a tractor trailer. Laborers were unloading the harvested groundnut plants and about 10 to 15 women were plucking the pods in a tiled shed. Vijay Kumar told us that this year he has got a good harvest of groundnut. So Ramu, that small farmer, he took them to the big farmer or to his employer, that is Vijay Kumar, and Vijay Kumar house had a big compound wall. There they found a paddy harvester, a thresher and a tractor trailer. So some laborers, they were unloading the harvested groundnut plants over there and about 10 to 15 women, they were plucking the pods in a tiled shed, and Vijay Kumar told to them that this year he has got a good harvest of groundnuts. When are you going to sell it? But not now. I will sell it after drying it for a few weeks, Vijay Kumar said. So they are asking him, when are you going to sell it? That means when he is going to sell his groundnuts. So he is replying that not now, I will sell it after drying it for a few weeks. So this Vijay Kumar, he has to dry those groundnuts and after drying up to them, he will sell, and after drying those groundnuts, he will sell. Vijay Kumar has a large kallam or threshing floor which is used to dry the harvest. He has a go down like large shed to keep paddy, fertilizer bags and other farming equipments. So this Vijay Kumar, he has a large kallam or threshing floor which he is using to dry the harvest, to dry those groundnuts, and he has a go down where there is a large shed to keep the paddy or fertilizer bags and other farming equipment. Since the fresh groundnut sells at a low price, I usually dry it and sell it after a few months. Traders generally pay a higher price for dried groundnut, Vijay Kumar said. So this Vijay Kumar, he is replying that he has a fresh groundnut sells at a low price and he usually dry it and he will sell it after few months, and traders, they will pay him higher price for dried groundnuts. So as he is getting higher price for his dried up groundnuts, so he is drying them up. Vijay Kumar has 25 acres of land with 3 borewells. His paddy fields are in a command area of a village tank. He borrowed rupees 25 lakhs from a bank to bury the harvester and thresher. He hires them out to other farmers. So Vijay Kumar, he is having 25 acres of land with 3 bore wells, and his paddy fields are in a command area of village tank. He borrowed rupees 25,000 from the banks to buy harvester and thresher, and he also hires those harvester and thresher to other farmers as well. Many farmers in Venkatapuram and the surrounding villages use this equipments. With all this additional income, Vijay Kumar is able to buy more farm machines, borewells, and lease in more hands from small farmers. Many farmers in Venkatapuram and the surrounding villages, they also use this equipments from Vijay Kumar, and with this additional income, with Vijay Kumar, he can also buy the new equipments as well, and he can also lease those equipments to other farmers. Vijay Kumar gets some more income from selling the milk of more than 20 of his Murrah buffaloes. He also had a fertilizer shop in a village. Since he lends money to farmers and other laborers, these laborers work regularly on his fields. So, beside having 25 acres of land, this Vijay Kumar, he is also getting some more income by selling milk from his Murrah buffaloes. He is also having a fertilizer shop in the village. As he lends his money to the farmers and other laborers, the laborers, they are working in his fields regularly. Vijay Kumar has another house in the nearby town in which his wife and children live. This person, Vijay Kumar, is also having a house in a town where his family is living. Let's continue